Let's do a slow motion, a stop motion.
It's no motion. This is the Wine of the Month Club, in case you didn't notice, for April of 2017.
2017.
And we have a really, really fun lineup.
Really fun lineup. Not as fun as Ed.
Not as fun as
Ed talks about on the Classic Series video about the selections 40 years ago. And
I don't want to do that again.
I know.
It's
well,
too
you know,
depressing.
Really,
I told you, it's very depressing.
Well, there's some great wines. The Petite Syrah, for one, which we just did a wonderful Petite Syrah email special. If you haven't seen it, it's $4.99 for the Elder Rock. You can look it up on the site. It's very good, and it sells for $16 at the Monterey wine shops. We have it for $4.99. It's wonderful. We'll taste it today. It hasn't tasted it yet. But, so this was, what was it? The Parducci.
73 Parducci Petite Syrah.
So are they still around?
Oh, yeah, they're owned by a different company now. Yeah. John Parducci passed away several years ago. Wonderful man. He was in his 90s. Knew him very well.
And then, but the big clincher was the Chablis, which is a very specific district in Burgundy, France. It's a Chardonnay. My dad's love of wine started with Chablis. And actually, the first four selections of the wine.
But it wasn't just a Chablis. It was Bouchard. It was a Premier Cru. It was Forcham. I mean, one of the best vineyards. One of the best vineyards in Chablis for $5.69 a bottle.
No, a fifth.
A fifth, okay. It's still a bottle. They didn't deliver it in pig cows' stomachs.
So all of that has inspired the Wine of the Month Club to sort of be in the wine business. As you know, the Wine of the Month Club owns a license to make wine in Napa Valley, actually in Santa Rosa. And this was the first time that we went out, picked grapes. We trucked them to Napa, and we had Brandon Reitz at Bin to Bottle make the wine for us. It's called The Human Condition. But you had a conversation with the farmer,
Mark Welsh, the guy who grew the grapes in Mendocino. I've been growing grapes there for 37 years. They have, I believe, 22 acres. Very interesting guy. He wanted to tell me what the clones were that he used, and I said, I don't think our members would care, nor would they even know what we were talking about, nor would I know what we were talking about, so we'll pass on that.
But
it's a classic, beautifully done Merlot. I mean, it's very nicely appointed. It's not overly
the
tannic.
Is amazing, and about 12 months in barrel, neutral barrels. So that's softened it up a lot, and it's already softened in the bottle since it's been here.
Right.
It's only been bottled for about 3 weeks.
But it's really a classic bottle of wine.
The nose is great. There's a lot going on.
$24.95 on the shelf, which of course it will never be, and it probably costs more than that if somebody really wanted it. But $12.99 at reorder price. You're not going to get Merlot for $12.99.
I can tell you that it
$95 for me.
Costs that much to make it.
Well, you do what you can.
I give it a 95 too. I think this is just really fun.
Yeah, it's a terrific bottle of wine.
Local artist developed the label for us, Alden Aaron.
And who came up with the name?
Yeah, Alden did.
Oh, well, that makes sense. What would he know about a human condition?
I will not go there.
You won't. Okay, this was an interesting wine, Navardia, because it's made with organic grapes.
It's not Sauvignon Blanc.
Well, it is Sauvignon Blanc. It's Sauvignon Blanc and something else, but it's white Rioja. And this is a really interesting story. I didn't know this when I read the article. Okay. There is an overlap of areas, and I put this in the newsletter, and Rioja and another area, I forgot what the name of it is.
Oh, this is Sauvignon Blanc.
And it can, even though they're in this area, they're also in Rioja, so they can call it Rioja, but it's not made from the typical Rioja white grapes. So I don't know of any other area that's like
I remember this wine distinctly, and I loved it because it had Grenache Blanc on it. You don't see that blend very often, but it's got that Spanish white old world character, which I really like.
To a degree, that's true.
Yeah, it's not a lot,
but it's not Viura, which I'm very grateful for because I think that's a useless grape. But what do I know? Anyway, so it's really interesting to read this because every now and then you read something you never knew. I mean, it's like, wow. I didn't know that,
So here's something coming up that you'll see. I'm not sure if Vintners are limited. White Tempranillo.
Well, it's just Tempranillo without skin content.
No. It's not pink. It's white Tempranillo.
Well, you can make
it's Tempranillo Blanco. It's a grape.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, that I never heard of. No, I never heard of that.
I haven't either.
I mean, Grenache Blanc is white Grenache,
right?
I mean, exactly. But it's its own separate white grape. It's not a red grape. But I never heard of Tempranillo Blanc.
Just like your Pires issue with the other one. You know, his nose is changing too. This
Yeah. Well, so's yours, by the way.
It hasn't changed much in 25 years.
Okay, so $18.99 on the shelf, $11.99 reorder, 95 here.
Yeah, 95. That's good.
95 where?
That one's actually changing in the glass. It'll be different by the time we take it downstairs.
So will you.
You keep saying stuff like that. It's giving me a complex.
I don't know. Oh, I couldn't wait to taste this. This wine is so good. I love these wines.
Is this imported heritage? No.
No, it's not.
Pasternak.
Yeah, Pasternak.
Oh.
When was the last time you did a Pasternak wine? I don't think you ever have. I think the last Pasternak wine that came from the Wine of the Month Club was your dad.
There's your Stelvin cap for you.
So much for that. Wow. This is really, what is this, 2015 too, isn't it? No, it's 14. Massive wine. Absolutely massive wine.
You know, I'm getting a lot of variety in Cote de Rhone styles these days. This is much newer, new world than the one I tasted yesterday. Well, that was very good, but completely different animal.
Well, part of that is just the warmer climate we've got. I mean, you got riper grapes, which you don't really need in the Rhone because it's always been a warm area.
But this is bright, effusive. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's
Right.
totally new world. The one I tasted yesterday was like the deep Syrah, gamey, stuff. And this is really fun to taste like this.
That's a delicious wine. I think it's probably principally Grenache and Mourvedre and probably some Carignan in there.
Oh, you know what? The Grenache is really
Grenache
probably
is effusive.
lavender, olives. This is fun. This is just fun because A, good wine. B, a departure from the classic Cote de Rhone from this area.
Yeah, it's a little more aggressive. It's a little more tighter around the edges. It's going to just get better and better over the next few years. $23.99 on the shelf, $12.99 reorder price, and I'm doing a 96. I think it's really something. But I'd like to taste this wine in 10 or 12 years.
Or with what?
Barbecued tree bark.
Haven't had that lately, but I got to try that.
Yeah,
Do you recommend hickory? Or
well, I think hickory would probably be a good choice, or whatever tree the bark came off of. I don't know.
Wow.
Nice wine.
Boy, the berries are coming out of that thing now. This is a new cap for you. You just do this, and there you go. That's it.
What?
The thing didn't separate.
Okay.
Now, here was a late entry. Sometimes I can't. I'm looking. Don't want to fill it just to fill it, and all of a sudden, boom! Guy walks in, and I'm like, "Here, I need this wine right now." And this is from our friends at Mezsa.
Mezsa.
And this just got here to America. This is the first time.
In America. It's the first time in America.
Yeah.
This is a first for me because I've never tasted this grape before.
This is nose great.
Yeah, it's
This
really
is the Fernao
Pires, which was misspelled, and that's why it took me forever.
Okay, so he says misspelled. So here's my office. They're like, Ed's telling us that we're at everybody's reading the newsletter. The spelling of the grape is wrong. And so to our defense, my defense as the owner of the company and the guy that's responsible for what goes out of here, I pull out the cola, which is the representative, what you send to the government to approve a wine, and the government approves the wine based on this. It was spelled the way I
know,
it.
but it's wrong.
It was wrong.
Well, it just goes to show you that the government doesn't know this grape either, and that's only half the name. It's Albio Pires. It's not Perez. I mean, because I got all these books on wine. It's not listed in any of them. I go on Google search. Nothing. Zero. It doesn't exist. Wow, that's really unique. That's very, very unique. There's two grapes in here, and I don't know either one.
It's got a wonderful acidic finish. It's got a wonderful full body in the middle. Like I'm trying to get some kind of.
This is definitely a raw oyster wine because it's got nice acidity and it's really.
In the middle, I can't tell what fruit it is. It's not banana, but it's something in that depth of the banana.
It needs food. I mean, this is not a wine you're going to sip by itself because. It's high and tight, but I bet with like I said, with raw oysters or cream sauce, sure. it's just gonna sing. So
I'm at 96. I like it.
I'm gonna do a 95 and $11.99 on reorder price. I mean,
how fun for $11.99. What you can expect at the market for $11.99?
Let me think about that. How much fun can you have for $11.99? Maybe we shouldn't go there. Anyway, that's our show for today. April 2017 Vintners Series.